I was introduced to the industry of network marketing, and it makes sense. I don't know if you know what I was talking about, but something just makes sense. It clicked very early on. I saw that building distribution points made a lot of sense. I saw this as like, hey, if I was just to own a franchise, if I was to own a, let's say, the cheapest franchise, one of the cheapest franchise out there that's recognizable is the franchise like Subway. And I was to spend $350,000 for a Subway franchise. Well, uh, okay, that's great. I have distribution now for sandwiches for the product that's Subway. And every time if I was to open another franchise, that's another distribution point. If I open another franchise, that's another distribution point. If I open another franchise outside of the state, that's another distribution point. Each time costing me $350,000 a pop to start a distribution point. And now once a distribution point is established, now that creates a generative income, a revenue reoccurring income when the stores open. And so that concept made a lot of sense from the very beginning. But the difference here is I didn't have to spend. I saw this and I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to spend $350,000 to start a distribution point by simply sharing my business and talking to other people and letting them get excited about the opportunity. I can build distribution points everywhere. Because today, what I want to chat with you is a specific slide that in the presentation that we probably don't spend too much time talking about this slide in the presentation, but it's here for a reason. And let me go ahead and share that slide, and you probably uh, so you guys can see is this specifically slide, specifically this one right here. This came from the cash flow quadrant. The reason we share this is because we want people to understand the concept of reoccurring revenue leverage income. That's the reason we talk about this slide. And Robbie Kiyosaki explains this, right? The left side, the employees and self-employed, this is where 95% of people are at. Employees, I used to have a mentor that used to say, David, W-2 means that you work twice as much for half the cost, for half the pay. And I remember that's clever. But that's W-2 because you have to pay taxes before you get your money. If you're in the W-2, you might be in an honorable profession, but financially you have to give the government his cut, and then they give you your money. And then self-employed, so it's a little easier. Now actually, for the most part, you get to your 1099. You get to now take your money, and hopefully you have some deductions afterwards, which is great. But the left side of the quadrant, my mentor used to teach me. He used to talk about. He said, David, 95% of people in America are in the left side of the quadrant. This is where and the reason they're getting, and consequently, the statistics show that 95% of people in America live a lifestyle called paycheck to paycheck. Most people are at least 2 or 3 paychecks away from filing bankruptcy, from not being able to pay their mortgage. I mean, we all know people like this way. People that if their one paycheck doesn't show up, I mean, they're in trouble. They're already behind. So my mentor said, David, 95% of people are there, and they're an employee in the self-employed side. And he said the reason is because the system they get paid through is linear income. And linear income means you get paid one time for the work you do one time. You go into work, you clock in, you get paid. You clock out, you don't get paid. It's something very simple to understand, right? The biggest problem with linear income is in order to get paid forever, you have to work forever. So this is and this applies to employees and self-employees. Well, David, what if you're a doctor? What if you're a doctor? You have 100 patients this month, great month for you. Next month, no patients, no money. Well, what if you're a mechanic? Well, the same thing. You open your mechanic shop, customers come in, great. You don't open it, no customer come, no money. Again, the biggest problem is that you have to be present. This is why, in the right side of the quadrant, things change. Business owners and investors, obviously, well, we won't talk about investors, but let's talk about business owners. Business owners build a system that once you build that system, it could take a year, 2 years, 3 years, but that system's a leverage system. That's what they call it, leverage income. So the leverage system is a system that you're able to build. And in our industry, a system is by after you introduce someone to the business. Now the system, like the AM Power right here, supports the independent affiliates. The events system that we have in place, the presentations that we have tonight. Tonight we have natural remedies call. Make sure to get everybody to this, and it's a great, easy way to invite. All that is part of the system. So you build a system around the distribution points in network marketing, and then that generates reoccurring revenue income, which is what business owners want to do. They want to build something that they can step away and then eventually continue their life and enjoy their lives, and still have that reoccurring revenue income coming in. This is what network marketing promises. This is what we're all about. This is what got me excited when I first saw the industry. And I get it most of the time. Say, hey, we're excited about the product, we're excited about the results. That's amazing. But let's look at the model of what we're trying to do, because this is a business, and a business to generate income. And what you're working to create a leverage income and create a business where you can eventually step away, eventually go out there and start traveling. I mean, and it's never really fully stepping away, but instead of working 40 hours a week, you work 10 hours a week, you work 5 hours a week, you show up. It'll happen one day where we're going to have a meeting of 10,000 people convention, 25,000 people convention, and you're going to have 500 people in your team there, 1,000 people on your team there. And it's possibly that you're not even the biggest leader there, that you're just the leader overriding everything. You're just in the back, sitting out back and letting your team take the recognition, letting your team run and win. And for those of you, for someone like me, that's like a dream come true, by the way. For you to be the guy in the back of the room, earning an incredible passive recurring income while your team is being recognized, and you're just all smiles there. And then you go back home to your children, and it's like, how'd it go? Everything was great. The team is winning. I mean, that's a beautiful sight. And I believe that it is for every single one of us. And I want this for you guys. Uh, and some of you, I said, well, David, I also want to make a difference and impact. When you're going to be, if you want to be a speaker here, you're going to be a speaker. If you want to be a motivational speaker here, you're going to get an opportunity to do that. If you want to be someone that just nourishes people, and you want to use it as a platform to nourish other people, but still be in the back end, you get an opportunity to do that as well. This is an incredible industry for you guys. So for those of you that are brand new to the industry, that are seeing this for the first time, or maybe don't understand the concepts of what we have here within network marketing, let me tell you, it is absolutely an incredible industry. More people become millionaires in the industry of network marketing than any other industry out there. And it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you what your background is, so whether you're a female or a male or a mutant, or a dog, or it doesn't matter. We take everybody. Everybody has an opportunity to win here. So it doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter if you're rich. I seen them both win. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your race. You can be a Puerto Rican that grew up in the ghetto like I did. You can be someone that's a black man or a black woman, or a white woman and white man, a brown, yellow, whatever. It does not matter. What matters is the work. What matters is how is your leadership. How much do you show up into understanding what it is that you're building? And I'm proud of the industry of network marketing. I was talking to one of our um, when I was talking to James Lanhart, and we were talking about how if you're ashamed of the industry, you probably should not be in the industry. I'm not ashamed of the industry of network marketing. I was just yesterday I was at my gym, working out with a couple of guys, and they asked me, so a few people I didn't know, say, hey, so what do you do? I said, I'm a vice president of sales for a network marketing company. We have adaptogens. We focus to lowering inflammation. Obviously, there's not being recorded, so I'm letting people know what I do. And so I say we lower inflammation, and I say we have an anti-inflammatory response, a healthy anti-inflammatory response. I said that to them, and he's like, "Oh, cool." And he's like, "Man, that sounds really cool." And then one of them got interested just by me, just my posture. One of them automatically became interested. All right, I was talking to three guys. One of them said, "Cool, man, let's talk." Automatically. Why? Because my posture was like, I'm a professional at this. This is a professional industry, and you can make an incredible income here, an income that surpasses people that have been going to school for many many years. I was once in a plane, and I sat next to a brain surgeon, and and he, you sit me next to a brain surgeon that, I mean, I'm very curious about the brain and about the mind and consciousness. That's all my jam. I love just studying this. I'm asking him questions. Finally, I get to a point. I'm curious. I'm like, how much money do you make? Yes, I know I'm horrible. I get it. I get it. It's very disrespectful. I get it. But by that time, we were a couple of wine glasses in. So he was like, he said, David, I make about 900,000 a year. I was like, wow, interesting. And I asked him the question, okay, so what does it take? And by the time, and this was about, I was 33 years old, so this was 10 years ago. So at that time, I was also in network marketing, and I remember that year, the year previous, the year before, I cleared 932,000 that year. I'm not again, I'm not trying to show off here or anything. I'm kind of just telling you that, if don't be impressed, please don't be impressed. This is more to impress upon you what's possible, okay, about the industry. So my ego's a little glowing here, Oh, I didn't go to school. You went to school, at the time. And so now so I finally asked him the question, how long did it take for you to become a brain surgeon? He said, David, let me tell you what it took. First of all, it took 4 years of basics. Then it took 4 years of med school. Then it took another 4 year of specialization. He specialized in the brain. Then he took another 4 years for him to become an intern at a hospital. He said they work me 100 hours a week and they pay me 35,000 a year. And then after 16 years, I was allowed to operate on the brain and I make this type of money. And I'm thinking to myself at that point, I'm like, I'm really glowing at that point. My ego's like dong stepping. I was like, whoa, that's crazy, And here you are, a kid from San Juan, Puerto Rico, didn't even finish school, and you're making the same amount of money that a doctor, a brain surgeon, that went to school for 16 years. And again, I shared this with you because I want to tell you that's the opportunity you have. That's the opportunity you have. And get this, I didn't finish there. I asked the doctor, I said, hey, in one word, what does it take to become a brain surgeon? He's like, hmm. And he's told me resistance. I was like, whoa, that is great. Resistance. Can I tell you something? To become a black diamond, purple diamond, you know what it takes in one word? Resistance. Because you gotta, all these things that are going to come against you, you have to resist. You have to resist your urges. You have to resist your compulsions. You have to resist your doubt. You have to overcome all these things that are just your own lack of self-discipline. All this you have to overcome this, and it's all within you. It really is. So I that's the opportunity you have. You have an opportunity that can pay you. If you want to take it at that level, you can. Now, some people say, I don't want to take it at that level. Not to worry. You know what? You know what? And I'm talking a little high numbers here. I say if we, yeah, exactly, easy. Who would do 16 years of school? I mean, um, I'm telling you that if we talk about what it takes and you compare what it takes to 16 years or this type to make that type of income, and then you compare it to us, I mean, it's not going to take you 16 years. First of all, if you stay in this industry consistently and if you work consistently, you're gonna make that money and you're gonna do it. And so I um I want to share with you that it's it's a thing where you grow slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly. I'm gonna show. I'm at the very end. I want to show you a process of. I want to show you someone's back office. Is that okay? Can I do that? I'm gonna stop recording during that time, James. By FYI, during that time, but I will show someone's back office right now. And then in the last 5 minutes, I want to show you what it looks like if you're with consistency, what can happen with consistency and what you can do, what can happen with for you and in your life. And but ultimately, I mean, I had a thought and I lost it. Damn it! You know how you do that, right? You start. You see, what was I talking about just now? I was gonna say something about. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. uh, it'll come back. Don't worry. Hey, you guys will be speakers one day here on the call, and I look forward to seeing your story in AM Power. And when this happens, I'm gonna be. That's how it feels. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I won't do. I won't. I won't. I won't do that. I might laugh a little bit though, so you understand the pressures here. There's no pressure. We're loving it. So, but my whole point of this talk, guys, is that network marketing is an industry that I want you to be proud of, and I want you to understand that you have set out to build a real business. This is a real business, and and I want to give you a perspective. In Dallas, Texas, there is a there's a neighborhood in Texas called Highland Park. Anybody ever heard of Highland Park? The neighborhood Highland Park. They have what is called Billionaire Alley. The richest people in Texas live here. Jerry Jones, Mark Cuban, and I can name a bunch of secret billionaires that own the entire city of Dallas. Literally live in Highland Park. There is University Park, Highland Park. That's and and it's a it's quite remarkable to see this giant, enormous house. It's in the middle of the city, right? It's like the middle of the city, and then there's this piece of land, uh, University Park, Highland Park, for example. They have their own police department. They have their own little government going on there. They have their own school system. I mean, they're like it's like a little state within a city. That's how they run it. Imagine that we were to go to this neighborhood and we start knocking a door of this neighborhood, and let's say one of these billionaires approaches us, and or a millionaire, let's say, and we said to them, "Hey, I have an idea. I want you to listen up. I have a proposal for you. I want you to develop a scientific proven products that we can use to market here in the United States and all over the world. And I want you to develop these products to make a real difference. That means they actually work. They create a solution for metabolic problems and some of the biggest health issues in the United States and the world. I want you to do that for me. I also want you to own your own labs, by the way. I want you to, we don't just want to do that. I want you to buy the labs, create the laboratories, and spend $30 million in laboratory equipment. We need to hire about 500 employees to do this. We need to also get license and certifications in GMP, FDA, non-GMO, good health practices, all the certifications for this. We need to be able to expand in different countries and already have a certificate of health in place to expand to Europe, to Latin America, to Canada, US, of course, Mexico. We want you to do that as well. And I want you to buy all the raw material, but I need at least 6 months of raw material in the warehouse. So I need millions of dollars in place. Oh, by the way, I need to have at least a good 30 different products. They all have different raw materials. So 30 different products with 30 different raw materials. More than 30 different raw materials. Each, you seen some of the products that that we want are going to have anywhere from 20 to even 60 different ingredients within that one product alone. So I want you to have all that. I want you to organize it. Oh, by the way, I want you to buy we want a scanner that we can buy and they can scan our people. And I want you to buy $1 million of that ahead of time so we can put it in this warehouse and we can put it aside. Oh, and also I want you, and in this business project that we're about to start, I want you to pay me 54% of the all profits, and you keep 44% of the profits. Oh, from the 44%, I want you to pay the employees. Don't take it from my side, your side. You're gonna pay the employees. You're gonna pay the shipment. You're gonna pay the doctors. You're gonna pay everything. You're gonna pay from your side, not from my side. And that's what I want. Oh, and I want you to also once in a while, or after I hit a certain quota, I want you to pay me 100% of the profits. Don't take no profits for you. I want you to take 100% of the profits, and we'll call it the influencer bonus. That's what we'll call it. Well, I keep 100% of the profits, and you keep all you keep is no profits at all. You just make the material for free for me. Let me ask you a question. If we were to have that conversation was a business owner of one of those, what do you think they would send us to? What they would tell us? What do you think they would send us to? Where? What do you think what would be that conversation would be like? What do you think? Okay, do you realize that's what Alex and Tony and Gustavo and Alberto had done for us? Do you realize this? This is what we have in our hands, my friends. And you don't have to do it. We didn't have to put anything at front. All you have to do, just say, go to hell. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. Then, I mean, I would imagine if you're a billion, you have like a couple of Dobermans, and like, woo, the Dobermans run out, and we start running, and the dogs are chasing us. That's exactly what would happen. But you don't have to do none of that. You don't have to worry about nothing like this. But yet, that's the scenario that we're currently in. That's the reality of things, of what we have currently right now. And you and I get to be the beneficiaries of this. And that's what this is very exciting. The fact that we have a business project, a real business, and we are business partners to Vital Health. And to me, it's one of the most exciting things uh, that that you can that you can be a part of when you have a company that's doing it right. Let me share with you, especially if you're brand new in the industry. I've you know just like every other company out there, right? And you guys remember Aaron, not Aaron, not the Kill and Peel. Enron. Remember, guys? You guys remember the Enron scandal? Anybody was alive during that time? Everybody was, right? Enron scandal, right? Uh, the Enron scandal was a huge company. Enron, thank you. It's a huge company that all the employees lost all their life savings, right? There's I remember about maybe this was in about 20 years ago, 25 years ago. This was during 9/11 actually, because after 9/11 happened, and for my young friends here, they don't understand what 9/11 was. That was a very specific situation that happened. Like I think everybody that saw 9/11 remembers where they won when they found out. I remember where I was. I was in the kitchen and I saw the TV and I said, "Whoa, this is insane! What is happening?" So and I say that because right afterwards there was layoffs in the airlines, and there was a ton of layoffs. In the and my father, who was working in American Airlines, he already had 30 years, so he didn't have to worry about it. So it's seniority, but they laid off a lot of people, and you know how those things happen in traditional companies, and in network marketing, the same thing happens. The companies are not all built equally. The leadership is not all built equally. They so and when you come in, you sometimes you don't know what you have. You don't know that Alex is, we sold $9 million last month in product. Alex, I was just on the phone with Alex yesterday, and we were just chatting, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I reinvested 100% of the profits. I reinvested for in all raw materials to give to get much more stuff. We're already ready for the next level of growth. That's how our CEO and that's our CEO thinks. And I shared this with you because again, I want you to understand that what you have in your hand is so special. We have something, and I want you to feel confident in the industry. I want you to feel confident that you are building a real business.